Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This is one that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Welcome to Let's Play Secret of Evermore. Role-playing game released by Squaresoft in North America and Europe, but not in Japan, strangely, in 1995. And this one definitely feels different from everything that was released in Japan at the time. This one was actually made by Squaresoft of America, and the people who made this were specifically chosen to just make this game. This game has nothing to do with Seiken Densetsu 3 not making it over to the States. There were basically other reasons for that, including the fact that it was pretty much the dawning of the 32-bit era, and translating the game would have been very expensive. So, as a result, this game has nothing to do with us not getting Secret of Mana 2 or Seiken Densetsu 3 or whatever it is you want to call it. This is just Square doing something different, and that's basically it. So now that I basically mentioned that, let's go ahead and start the game. Because we don't have a save file to choose from, you can save up the 4 games at any one time. We just go straight to entering the character's name. There really isn't a character limit to the number of characters that you can insert for your name. As long as it fits in that box in the upper left there, you should have no problem having the name that you want. And it basically tells you how to put your name in on the very bottom. Choose letters by moving the selector and pressing B. Y deletes the last letter, press start to exit. And because it actually fits, I'm actually going to go ahead and put in Prince Watercress, because why not? Also, I kind of waited there a little bit because I really love the bass on this song. This is a really good song to start the game on, to be honest. Anyway, I'm not going to go ahead and shut up, do a cutscene. Alright. So, we started out in the town of Podunk, USA, basically in every town USA sort of place. Dog chases cat. Dog eventually goes into an abandoned building. Boy follows him into the abandoned building. I'm assuming the dog's a he. All of a sudden, we find his machine. Machine teleports us to this strange place, and now we're locked in this room. Might as well go ahead and mention the controls. I'll mention basically how everything is done as we go through the first episode of this game. I'll try to make this intro video as unawkward as possible. For right now, all we need to know, we opened that menu that I just opened up by pressing Y, and I went to the control preferences so I could show all this off. B lets us attack. We won't be able to run with the A button until later in the game. L and R as well as X, that involves a dog. I'll mention that when the time comes, and we use a control pad to move. There are two configurations, they just switch A and B around, but that's about it. And with select on this screen, you can switch from stereo sound to mono sound. I'm pretty much good on controls. So in case you're wondering what you need to do, just go over to this thing here. It's a chest. Press B, and you'll get the bazooka. As soon as you get the bazooka, though, you'll fight off these two guard bots. Thankfully, this is a very easy battle. All you have to do is just line yourself up with them, press B, and if you're lined up with them correctly, you'll take them down in one shot. The shots these guard bots do are very, very weak. And whenever you shoot, if you miss, you'll have to go wait for the gauge at the bottom to hit 100% before you can shoot again. Otherwise, you'll just be whacking stuff with the bazooka, and that's not going to do any damage at all. Also, I managed to get a rare drop from a guard bot. It's pretty much not going to give me anything, and even if I could get to it, it probably wouldn't have given me anything anyway. Can't believe I did that on the intro battle, which you can skip by pressing start if you've played the game before. Anyway, we now go into this little area here, which is this little control pad for some sort of spaceship or something. We find our dog, but unfortunately as soon as we turn this thing on, it malfunctions. We're forced to crash land here. I can't believe I got a rare item drop that I couldn't take advantage of in the very first battle of the game. That was something. But anyway, we're now in this jungle. We no longer have the bazooka. We can't use the escape pod anymore. That's basically what that was. And now we need to look for our dog. When we find our dog, however, we see this. Believe it or not, this actually is our dog. I mean, the dog is reacting to us even though it's a prehistoric beast of a dog. It's changed shape considerably. And so to test the theory of whether or not this is our dog, our hero throws a stick and asks the dog to go get it. He comes back, but not with the stick. It's this bone. This bone is our first weapon of the game. This is the bone crusher. So now that we're in this jungle, we might as well go ahead and look around. Anyway, let's go ahead and head back to control preferences. As I said before, the control pad lets you move. B button lets you attack, as well as perform actions, such as opening the chest that gave us a bazooka. Y activates our ring menu. X does the same, but with the dog, or whoever we're not controlling. We can't run with the A button until later in the game. And the L and R shoulder buttons let the dog sniff out ingredients. If he sniffs in place, there isn't anything nearby, but if he does move to a spot, he will have found something. Just keep holding the button, and then you'll be able to go where it is that you need to go, and then from there you can just explore that one spot, and you can find something useful. And here's our first enemy of the game, the Wimpy Flower. These things go down in 2 shots right here at the very beginning. And we have a petal too, by opening that gourd. And we found some roots. Roots are alchemy ingredients. I'll explain those when we start getting our spells. Water is also an alchemy ingredient. So I might as well go ahead and explain everything that is in this ring so far. We already know Control Prefs does. Window edit. That edits the window at the top of the screen that we're seeing right now, as well as any of the speech windows that we see throughout the game. Target lets you see what the name of the enemies are, and if you're in the allies ring, you can also use that to get the character you're not controlling to attack that enemy. Here, the weapon skill. This lets us see how much experience we have on all of our weapons. In order to get experience with the weapon, you have to get the killing blow on an enemy. Because I didn't kill that Wimpy Flower and the dog did, the dog actually boosted its attack power instead of me. By getting 100 experience on a weapon, you get a level up. The maximum level you can get on a weapon is 3. You can switch between swords, axes, and spears, the 3 different kinds of weapons in the game. And you can see how much experience you have for those when the time comes. Player status. This lets you see how many hit points you have, the level you're at, how much experience you have, as well as how many you need for the next level, how much currency you have. By beating up that Wimpy Flower, we got 2 talons. Talons is the currency for the current land that we are in. We all get to see our attack, defense, magic defense, evade percentage, and hit percentage. Our evade and hit percentages are going to be pretty lousy at the beginning of the game, but they will get better as time goes on. And by pressing R, you can switch between the boy and the dog. As you can see, you can see the dog's attack skill in this screen. Also, the dog has much better stats because it's the dog. Also, the dog needs more experience apparently to level up compared to the kid. In case either character has any armor equipped, you can see it on this screen. There are collars you can buy for the dog. You can see what collar the dog has equipped here. You can also see what weapons and armor the boy has equipped here on his stats. There are a lot of alchemy ingredients you can find just by sniffing around. And I'm not going to find every single one of them. Matter of fact, you're going to be buying most of your ingredients anyway. But it does help just to look. And I believe there's one here. There's one here. Believe it or not, H.C. Bailey recently did a Let's Play of the game as of the time that I recorded this. And therefore I have a map in front of me that explains where every single one of them is. Again, I'm not going to find everything because there are a few that he forgot. And, again, you're going to be buying most of your ingredients. I'm also going to level up the Bone Crusher here first. I'm going to try to level it up to level 2. Because I want to make the upcoming big battle, I guess you could call it that. I guess it's basically technically a mid-boss battle easier. Which means I'll be going back and forth between screens a couple times. But for now, I just want to look for things, explain how everything goes on in this game, how everything works. And I forgot to mention the mosquitoes too. There are mosquitoes that fly around. They do damage, but the most they'll do is 1. They will bite you. They also give less experience and money than the Wimpy Flowers. But they're still worth fighting nonetheless because, again, weapon and general experience. I forgot there was one there. Yeah, we're going to be finding a lot of ash, roots, crystals, clay, oil, and wax. Those are the main ingredients you'll be able to find in this area. Ow! Yeah, if you spend too long near one of these wimpy flowers, they will hurt you. And I also leveled up to level 2. Whenever you level up, your HP completely refills, which is really nice. I'm also holding down the sniff button, so that way the dog won't attack these enemies, so that way I can actually get some weapon experience, some much needed weapon experience on the Bone Crusher. Did I find everything yet? I forget what is over here. There's one here. There's one here. Did we find the one here? I want to think that we did. Which is funny because I don't even remember it. There's some that the dog can't find. Sometimes. I should mention other rings that I have. Such as the weapon ring. To switch between rings, just press up and down. And you'll be able to switch with them. There's also the item ring, which includes this pedal. By using the pedal, we can recover 40 hit points. I also forgot to mention the action command. This basically lets you control how the characters act when you're not controlling them. You can either make them defend, or you can make them attack all the time, as well as control what maximum level of attack they have. So if you want them to charge or attack, you can do that too. You can also choose whether or not the dog searches all the time or whether the dog fights all the time too. I'll actually make better use of it once we get to the mid-boss. Again, for now, I just want to explain everything, do some exploration, do some fighting, so that way you guys know how stuff works. Now, there's 3 ingredients here, and I got all of them. And there's another wimpy plant that I want to take down. And here's the second screen. When we touch the leaf in the center that fell down there, we start the mid-boss battle. But if you go back, all the enemies will respawn, and you can do some more battling. I'll go ahead and let the dog do some attacks this time. Just like with other RPGs that I've done outside of Illusion of Gaia, I'll definitely try to do at least 25 to 30 minutes. So that way, I can keep these videos at a comfortable length. And I also want to do some leveling outside of recording anyway. Also, the dog leveled up too. The dog will have more HP than you for a while, but eventually the boy will have more HP due to just how the story goes. And as you level up, you do get stronger. Your attacks do more damage. And if I can luck out, I can be able to do some rare item drops off these enemies. Just beat them down and actually cause some of these wimpy flowers to leave a pile of petals behind. And then search that for money or a petal or something. Because all we have right now is the one petal. But if we... Oh, I thought the dog took damage there. Okay. I want to see if I can get other things as well. Get a few more things for the mid-boss just in case. Let the dog attack here. Now, unlike the monsters, the alchemy ingredients don't respawn. So once you find them, you've basically found them for good. Also, if the dog goes somewhere and starts sniffing around someplace, and then the dog does an action like scratching himself or yawning, the dog didn't really find anything. I mean, you can tell that the dog scratched his leg there, so there's really nothing. The dog just does that as an idle animation. And we managed to get a rare drop. 5 talons. I was hoping for a petal, but I'll take what I can get at this point. Getting close to 25 minutes on the recording time here. So I'll definitely have to stop the video after a little while. There are some areas that we won't be able to reach due to the plants blocking our way. We won't be able to break these or cut these with the bone crusher. We're going to have to break those with another weapon, which won't be until a little later. For now, all that I can do is just go back and forth, fight the enemies that I can, and hopefully get some supplies that I can farm for and hopefully use for the mid-boss battle just in case. By the way, it is very possible to die, as you can tell by the fact that we have hit points. By the fact that hit points are a thing. And double kill by the dog right there. If the dog dies, the dog can't fight. You basically want to make sure that the dog's hit points are taken care of, so that way he can fight in boss battles, or mini-boss battles, or any kind of battle, really. If the boy dies, the game's over whether or not the dog is alive. So, if the boy dies, that's it. You get a game over. You have to start from the last place you saved. So if the boy dies, it doesn't matter if the dog is alive or not. That's instant game over right there. So, keep both characters alive, but more importantly, keep the boy alive too, because if he dies, it's all over. Wondering who was going to get the first shot on that thing. Might as well spread weapon experience between the boy and the dog. And just like the weapon experience for the boy, the dog has to get the kill shot in order to get the experience for his dog attack. I'm assuming the dog is a he. It's never really... Actually, the dog is a he. Because the boy actually mentions it later in the game. Spoiler alert, things happen in the game. I'm sorry I'm not talking too much, just I don't really have much to talk about. I'd rather just talk more about the game. And so far I'm having fun with the game. Plus I'm trying to make this first episode as unawkward as possible, because I tend to explain things a lot in first episodes, and they're usually the hardest to record for me, in my opinion. Also, the dog is able to run, or the computer control character is able to run, even though you can't run in the game yet. That should be mentioned. So, it's been past 25 minutes. How are we doing? Well, we're halfway there on the experience, kind of. Oh, by the way, the dog's ring is the same, except you can't do the weapon experience. That's on the stat screen. The dog has done a little bit of attack experience. We have over 100 talents for currency now. Our stats have definitely gone up. So, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And in the next video, I will have my stats level up a little bit. And we'll be ready for the mini-boss battle. So join me then, why don't you? Until then, this is Prince Watercrest. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!